Hey, good morning, everybody. Sarasota Tim coming to you from the location of 7-Eleven, having my second cup parked over here in an out-of-the-way parking spot, not interfering with a single person. Let me have another sip of this coffee. We have a rainy day that will likely be rain for the entire day, but guess what? Cooler temperatures coming behind it and a beautiful sunny week for all those vacationers here in South Florida that you'll be able to enjoy with 70, 72, 73 degrees for daytime highs. So great camping weather, great sleeping weather. You can drive around with your windows down, your sunroof open, your convertible top down. This is the time to be in South Florida, specifically Palm Beach County. July and August, not so much. And I'm not going to be here this year either. I'm going to take the lid off of this so I can really drink it. So we're going to have morning devotional. I made morning chat already. And we're going to see what God's Word motivates us to remember to do. Hey, listen, folks. If we're not going to remember, if you're not going to remember, that's what I meant to say. If you're not going to remember every day to all these things that we say and read about that we're supposed to do, that God is asking us to do, to remember to do, so that He can guide you and direct you and give you the happy life that you so want. But people just forget, and they just get lazy, and they just don't want to try. They just don't want to remember that there's God. This I was going to say the word wrong, and somebody corrected me the other day. This omniscient, how do you say it? Whatever. God that can do all things. Then I'm going to remind you every day with these devotionals, or most days, that we can do it. Because it's doing it for me, not just for you. And I want to share with you what I am commanded and you're commanded to do, is to spread the good news. We need this in our country. We need this in our world. Don't you agree? Oh my gosh, that is good coffee. Oh, thank heaven for 7-Eleven. Well, the day is going to be gloomy, but we'll get through it. And maybe there's something in here, in Jesus Calling, that's going to inspire us of what to do on a rainy day. So, let me put my sea rights on. Get your book out to join with me. Slept like a baby in that bush crasher last night. Air conditioning, everything. Wow, it was nice. Oh, I left my thing out. Now I got to find it. What's today? The 18th? I think it is. Let me see. I'll remember what I read yesterday. I am the risen one who shines upon you always. You worship a living deity. Yeah, that was yesterday. Here's today. I haven't looked into it. Are you ready? We're going to read right through it, like a few of the subscribers have asked me to do, rather than elaborating first. So we'll go right on through what Sarah Young says regarding February 18th, 2024. I am with you. These 4 words are like a safety net, protecting you from falling into despair. Because you are human, you will always have ups and downs in your life experience. But the promise of my presence limits how far down you go. You can go. Sometimes you may feel as if you are in a free fall when people or things you had counted on let you down. Yet as soon as you remember that I am with you, your perspective changes radically. Instead of bemoaning your circumstances, you can look to me for help. You recall that not only am I with you, I am holding you by your right hand. I guide you with my counsel. And afterward, I will take you into glory. This is exactly the perspective you need, the reassurance of my presence and the glorious hope of heaven. Man, oh man. We got a few things we can talk about on that one. I don't know what else really needs to be said, because that was very profound, very, very easy to understand, and if you got ears to hear. Now, the two scriptures this morning that came to talk about that Miss Young pulled from the Bible is an Old Testament. I haven't read and even mentioned this one in a long time. In the Old Testament book of Zephaniah, in chapter 3, verse 17 says, "The Lord your God is with you. He is mighty to save. He will take great delight in you. He will quiet you with his love. He will rejoice over you with singing." And then the final one is a psalm. Always like the Psalms, right? In the Old Testament. This is Psalm 73, 23 through 26. "Yet I am always with you. You hold me by my right hand. You guide me with your counsel, and afterward you will take me into glory. Whom I have in heaven but you. And earth has nothing I desire besides you. My flesh and my heart may fail, but God is the strength of my heart and my portion forever." These sea rights are not doing too good for me this morning. So that was almost a quotation that Miss Young took from the Bible and Psalms in the part of that devotional this morning. But the very first part, "I am with you." All right. And then he says, and then she says that God says, these four words are like a safety net, protecting you from falling into despair. You're in despair? You pull out your safety net. Pull out your safety net. I am with you. Is that hard to memorize? No. All you got to do is think every time you fall into despair or concern, He's with me. God is with me. God has directed me. God is guiding me. God's got this. God knows who I am. God knows the situation. God will see me through it. They all mean the same thing. Do it. Practice it. Live by it. And feel comfort. Relieve those angsts. Relieve yourself. Relax. My burden is light and my yoke is easy, or something he says in the Bible. Cast all your burdens upon me. He wants you to have a glorious, lovely life. He doesn't want you to walk around with crap all over your shoulders, carrying the troubles of the world. And what happens about worrying? 99% of the time, they never come to pass. Who is guilty of worrying? All of us. All of us. Because it's just human nature, and it's just easy to do. Gossip, complain. All those things are so much easier than swimming upriver. To remember that God is with you. To be kind. To be courteous. To allow somebody else to go in front of you when they put their signal on and they need to get in front of you. To allow, someone to do anything and say anything without you putting your 2 cents in, that is just doing nothing for anybody. You don't like it, move on. All right. Then he says, because you're human, I just said that, you'll always have ups and downs in your life experience. But the promise of my presence limits how far you go down. Well, wouldn't you like to know that, all right, here's another issue. I'm really concerned about this. It's always something. But now I know that it's only going to go down less. I'm not going to have to go down like I used to before I started living my life for God and talking to God and trusting in God. Now, I catch myself. And the bottom's going to be like right here instead of way down here. Because when you don't know God and you don't put your burdens and your cares upon Him, you just continue to worry all day long, all week long, all month long, all your life. Get rid of it. Look at worry like, do I use you? No. Get rid of it. Sometimes you feel like you're in a free fall when people or things you had counted on let you down. You ever been let down? You ever been disappointed by things, people? I don't have to go there, right? We all know that. Yet as soon as you remember that I'm with you, your perspective changes radically. Radically, you change your perspective. That's cool because as quick as you start worrying about something, radically you can change. Instead of bemoaning your circumstances, you can look to me for help. Isn't it great to know you got help? You don't have to worry about, oh gosh, who can I call and gossip or whine about this to? Who can I call to maybe borrow something from? Money, or who can I, genuinely ask for help? Now that's different. Somebody that can listen, that God may, I've spoke to many people, even recently, and I said, I'm really sorry that I had to dump all that on you. Oh, no. They genuinely, they sit there and they listen. They don't even interrupt. You can tell because you can just you get it all out. And then they give you this word of encouragement that God gives them to give back to you. Because see, God doesn't always just like audibly speak in your mind or your head or you get it. A lot of times there is unctions that we get, that we know, the intuition. And then other times it's like when Fred told me I need to get a smaller trailer, maybe I need to consider it. Or when I was complaining about something recently that was disturbing me about personal things. And this person listened out of love and care for me and said, you know what? This and that. And what they said it could only have come as a gentle response. It was a loving response. And it made sense because God made me receive what they said as truth, as it was an answer, as it was what I was looking for, as something that made me feel better. That's how God works. And you start recognizing it more and more and more every time, you walk with God every day. All right. And then it says, you recall that not only am I with you, I'm holding you by your right hand. I guide you with my counsel. And afterward, I will take you into glory. So one day, when it's all over and you take your last breath and you've lived the life that you've tried to live to the glory of God, and He's blessed you with beyond your... How many people have you seen interviewed or you talked to that have said they have had a wonderful life? They've been blessed beyond anything they can imagine. Well, those are people that say that have walked with God. Those aren't people that, when they say they've been blessed beyond measure, those aren't people saying, I have done everything that I am the greatest of achieving everything. I. No. They say, I've been blessed. And they're recognizing, and they have sowed good seed, and they have been blessed. And like we talked about the other day, your blessings may come in different measures. You may not be blessed with driving a Lamborghini. You may not be blessed with living on oceanfront. You may have to endure cold winters and live in Ohio or Chicago. But that's where God wants you. When you look at other people's lives and you covet, Don't do that. Look at your own life and ask God to live in you and provide the life that he knows is the best for you. 7 billion people on the planet. If everyone was getting the same blessings and living the same life, this place wouldn't even be worth living. There has to be. And I read a comment where someone was very, very crude about, disbelieving in God and spirituality, and using that excuse about wars and terrible things and diseases and crimes on children and whatever. I forget their comment. It was like, I knew after I started reading it that I didn't even want to finish it. And it was just these lame excuses that I've heard before, that there can't be a God if this is allowed and tolerated. And while I agree to the respect that it's unfortunate and it's sad, I've lost loved ones, and we all have seen people that we've esteemed, go away in a wrong way through a disease, cancer, this or that, much too young. People we know, famous people, friends of our friends, on and on, on and on. We hear about those crazy stories on the media and mass shootings and, just terrible, terrible things. But there is a verse in the Bible that I always repeat, and it's the only thing I can tell you is, does the creation have a right to say to the Creator, why have you made me this way? Doesn't the Creator have sovereignty to do his own will as he wishes? If he takes 2 lumps of clay and makes one a beautiful vase and another an ashtray, doesn't he have the right to do that? You have a choice in life. You can choose to believe and have faith and just accept, that there is evil in the world. It's not untrue. There is evil that prevails on this earth that was allowed to be by God, the devil, and his workers. And they will continue to do evil things. But that does not mean that there's no God, that he doesn't continue to see those through and to have his will in the end. I don't have the answer for people that want to be so argumentative and use such crazy logic like that to say there is no God. I can only just pray for you and hope that, if you're ever in a foxhole and the bullets are flying over your head, I know what you're going to do. You're going to be crying out, oh God, if you are a God, please help me. Or you're laying in that hospital bed fighting for your life. Are you not going to cry out to somebody for help? Or are you just going to say, here I lie, I don't care. It is what it is. There is no God. No. There's no atheists in foxholes, friends. So, anyway, didn't mean to go on a tangent about that, but the devotional and talking about God every day isn't going to stop. It's something that people are saying they want to hear. I'm using it for me. I'm doing it for me. And if I feel obligated, like going to a gym, if I don't go, I feel guilty. If I don't do this and then hear my self-talk to you, and if one person out there, and I get comments all the time from several that say they enjoyed it, or that's what I needed to hear today. I need to hear it. And if one person, it helps, then I'm doing what God says to do. And all I'm doing is reading what somebody else, I'm not telling you my stuff, and then I'm elaborating on what I'm reading and what I've read and what my knowledge is about the Bible. Hang on. So, folks, before closing today's video of morning motivational devotional, may I ask, please, that you could check your subscription. And there's been some kind of an anomaly, a glitch in Google and YouTube, that people are being unsubscribed from YouTube channels, not just from mine, but from others. that you'd be so kind to please check your subscription and resubscribe if you've been unsubscribed. And if you get unsubscribed again, if you wouldn't mind checking in a few days or a week or when you think about it, and if it happens again, to repeat and resubscribe. Maybe after you do it a few times, it'll stick, and do that. I appreciate it. Also, there is a link on my YouTube channel in the very front. I don't put it in the videos anymore like a lot of YouTubers do. If you would like to use Amazon and help me out, and click on that link and then shop on Amazon for whatever it is you want to buy, you will be helping me out, and I will get a credit and a commission from Amazon, from Jeff Bezos, and it won't cost you 1 red cent, except for the extra effort that you would take to go to my channel, click on the Amazon link, prior to just using your own Amazon app on your phone. So if you feel like fooling with it, I appreciate it. If you don't, it's not a big deal. But it does add up, and it does help. And I'm getting ready to take a trip across the country and to bring you some good content. So if you'd like to support me in those efforts, that's greatly appreciated. There's also, I don't mention it often, another link there called Buy Me a Coffee, which a few of you have been very generous in clicking on that and donating to the channel. We all know what it is. It's not Buy Me a Coffee. It's simply a contribution that you feel you would like to do to support the channel. And those that have it, that want to do it, and it, does me help, and you want to do that, that's totally up to you. There is no begging here. There is nobody going to be broke if you don't. But if you would like to support, and you do support certain causes, and this is something that you would like to do, other YouTubers have sort of a similar type thing you can do called Patreon or Super Thanks and different kinds of things. I'm not the only one, so it's not a begging thing. It's there, but the Amazon link is something that doesn't cost you anything. If you'd like to use it, I really appreciate it. I love you all very much. My community is strong. My community is solid. We have a few bad apples in there that we get rid of right away, but I look forward. You're going to see a new change in the channel, a lot of new exciting content coming. Everyone's going to like it. I'm going to like it. I'm going to hopefully provide something that you can live vicariously through me. Some have said they could never do what I do, but they like watching it. Some are like, I'm going to do what you do. Give me more ideas. And so anywhere I can help through the videos of my life, through RVing, through reviewing products like on e-bikes and portable power stations and the spiritual content, anything I can think of that improves the quality of life for all of us, I'm going to continue to crush it.